All right, guys, how we doing? Good. My name's Kyle Grant. I'm the head football coach at Hermon High School. We're going to talk about building and maintaining a youth football program today. Talking mostly about year-round marketing and leadership strategies for your football program, specifically youth. What's our end goal with that? Our end goal is to keep kids and the community thinking football year-round. Football town, right? We hear that all the time. We want to make a football town. How do we make that happen? This is going to be more for the program directors, could be for high school coaches and youth coaches as well. That's my information at the end. I'll come back to this slide at the end. Take a picture of it, reach out anytime. I'm an open book. I'll tell you exactly how I feel about things. But I'm always an open book. I don't care if it's midnight on a Tuesday, you want to call me, go ahead. I'm not probably doing something football related. Okay, what are we talking about? Bringing excitement and passion into your program to build solid numbers. This one's very, very big for me. Start them young. Okay? We've got a lot of programs in our area. I'm not very versed with the southern area. But we have a lot of programs in our area that are not doing flag football, okay? Kids are starting football in 3rd grade, maybe 2nd. Some still are doing 5th grade. You are opening a lot of time for a kid to go do something else and stick with it, okay? Start them young. Make them fall in love with football before they fall in love with soccer. Or whatever, field hockey, whatever it is, I don't know. We're going to talk about integrating the whole program, from youngest team to high school. We're going to talk about putting the right people in place. As one front, sharing the same goals, marketing your program year-round, and then going above and beyond, showing the community that you care about what you are doing. Wow, these are some fancy, I'm going to do this here for a second, hold on. Oops. Okay. Wow. Sorry. Okay, a little bit about me, just so you can dictate to yourself if you want to listen to me or not. Coach at John Bass Memorial High School. Gets a couple guys here, especially Coach Sinclair. I was a JV head coach. I did the quarterback and defensive back starting in 09 to 2012. Became the offensive coordinator in 13 and 14 for Coach O'Connell. Hermon Youth Football. My wife and I started a business. Coach O'Connell gets out at 1:45 for school. Wanted to have practices at 2:15. It's a little hard for me. So I got out of coaching completely. Hermon heard I wasn't coaching, called, said if I wanted to do the middle school. I first said no. My wife said, you're an idiot, go do it. So I went and did it. I was a middle school football coach for 15 and 16. I took over the whole Hermon Youth Football in 2016. If I could tell you how disgusting Hermon Youth Football was in 2016, it would take me 2 weeks to explain it to you, okay? It was devastating. We had a 5-16, a 7-18, there was barely any kids, it was under the rec. Everybody had that rec mentality on it. It was gross, okay? I took over the Hermon High School varsity job in 2017. I'm still there. I put this here not to tell you that Hermon football is great. It's not what I'm saying at all. We're far from it. I'm just trying to give you the idea of what you're going to learn in this slide has changed this number. They were 2011, 2016, they were 9 and 39 overall. What we have implemented with the youth in this, from 2017 to current, we've gone 37 and 22 with 3 Northern Maine championship appearances. Okay, just a little bit more Hermon Hawks history so we get into the fun stuff. Our program started in 2007 with a 5-16, 2008 with a 7-8, and in 09 the high school started a JV schedule / kind of club team. We added 3-4 football, okay? This goes back to that start of young, we'll talk more about it. We added 3-4 football in 2016, and then we added in 2017 flag football, pre-K through 1st, and we did 2nd and 4th. Varsity football became recognized by the NPA in 2011. Average players from 2007 to 2015. We averaged 19 at 5'6", 21 total at the middle school level, 30 at the high school level. Our average players from 2016 to current, using what we're going to talk about today, we averaged 48 kids in flag football. We averaged 44 in 3-4, which is actually probably a little higher now. This is a little bit of an older slide. It's been a couple years since I've updated it. 5-6, we averaged 52 kids. 7-8, we averaged 41. And we're averaging 48 on the roster at the high school level since 2016. Our youth program communities that we use, Hermon, Carmel, Levant, and choice of school towns. We do not take kids that if they live in Bangor and want to come play for Hermon, nope. Why? I'm not putting effort into a kid from 3rd grade to 8th grade just to ship them back to Bangor. That takes away from a kid from me who plays for Hermon, right? So we take, these are our towns, Hermon, Carmel, Levant's what makes up Hermon High School. If you are a choice of school town, for us it's like a Glenburn or an Orrington, yeah, we'll take you. Because if you're going to come play football with your buddies, you're probably going to come to Hermon. Okay. Start them young. Create the love. Keep the love. Flag football. Who here is part of their youth football programs? Love it. Do you guys have flag football? Yes. What grades do you guys start in? Kindergarten? Go back a year. Pre-K. What does everything else start in? Kindergarten, right? You go to soccer, normally starts in kindergarten. You gotta go do, I don't know, whatever fall sports are. Water polo, maybe? I don't know. Starts in kindergarten, right? Slide your flag football back to pre-K. Yes, trust me, I know. Pre-Kers, a lot of fun, right? They can't listen for more than 5 minutes. But what are we doing? We're starting them young. They're gonna be a football player in pre-K. Ages 5 and 6 is where kids start growing a passion. My son's 7 years old. When he was 4 years old, he could care less about playing a sport at all. He hit 5 years old. 365 days later, it was like, I'm a football player. Like, whoa, where'd that come from? That's where passion starts to grow. Put your flag football back to pre-K. Yes? At the extent that you're going to deal with them every Sunday for an hour, sure. But we're creating a passion really, really early before something else. We want them at 5 years old to say, I'm a Hermon football player. Okay? Yes?
Are you putting them by themselves?
Yes. Yeah. So we do a pre-K to first grade.
Okay.
Flag.
Okay.
So that's your age group for our one.
Yeah.
And then we have another flag group, which is 2nd to 4th.
Oh, wow.
Because we do an assessment for 3rd, 4th grade tackle.
Okay.
Those kids that we talk with their parents and are deemed not ready to play tackle, we want to keep them in our program.
So you put the pre-K with the first graders in the kindergarten?
Yes. Yep. And it works great. It's something that works great for us. I'm not saying it's going to work great for you. But pre-K, start them young. Start them young. So right here we do that flag football 2nd, 4th. We allow those that are not ready for tackle to stay involved. We don't want to lose them, right? Yes.
How long is the practice and how many days a week for pre-K, first grade, and 2nd through 4th flag kids?
Sundays only for both groups. No practices. We don't want to overwhelm them either. We do an hour for pre-K to first, and it's a lot more of like a clinic style flag football. Okay? And then 2nd and 4th, we bump that up to an hour and a half. We divide teams and they play. No practices, nothing, once a week. Okay? And it's pre-K through first, we get that out early. All of you that had kids understand a kid at 5 years old at 4 o'clock in the afternoon is not fun to deal with. So we do like 9 a.m. to 10. We give a half an hour in between for things to shuffle out and shuffle back in. And then we do 10:30 or 11 to 12:30. And then it kind of runs with our youth program too. And then our 3-4 team comes in and plays, and our 5-6, and it works out great. But yeah, so we want to keep those 2nd through fourth graders, once we do our assessment, some of those kids in third and fourth grade either aren't ready. Mom and dad are like, whoa, 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 my fourth grader's not playing tackle football. We want him to play, just not yet. We want to keep those kids. Perfect example, 2 seasons ago, our running back, Gary Glidden, ran for 1,800 yards on the year, was a stud, okay? Absolute stud. In 6th grade, he couldn't even tie his shoes, okay? If we would have allowed him to have something at a young age to stay in football, we would have lost that. Light bulb went off about freshman year, said, I'll get in the weight room, I'll run the football, became a stud. We would have lost him if we didn't keep him in there. Offer something to keep him in, okay? If they can't do tackle, offer something to keep them in the program. Don't create the passion and then lose them. Create it, keep it. 3-4 tackle. Here is a big one. I know, right? Ooh, safety, 2nd graders. Whoa. We let the 2nd graders who were ready to play 3-4 tackle. Here's why. My son, perfect example, 2nd grader this year, played tackle football. Far beyond what flag football should be, and we have found that 2nd graders that are still playing flag football who are ready for tackle get bored in flag. What happens? They go find something either new because it's fresh, or they just simply say, football's not for me because it's not fun. Or I'm going to take a year off to go play, and then they lose the passion for when they come back as a 3rd grader. We let the 2nd graders play 3-4 tackle that are ready, that we assess in our assessment to be ready. Right? Kind of go back to here, it's okay to offer the 3-4 as flag. For kids, will you lose 2 years of experience playing kids who haven't? We try our best, 110% try our best. If you're in 3rd and 4th grade, to play 3rd and 4th grade tackle. There are those outliers for sure, 100%. But a kid who loses 3-4 football, starts in 5th grade, is going to tackle a kid who's played in 3rd and 4th grade, knows how to do it safely, knows how to do it confident, that's when safety becomes an issue. Okay? Why? Why are these things in place for us at Hermon? We want to make them fall in love with the sport. We want to keep them in your program, not someone else's. By someone else's, I mean the soccer program, anything like that. When I first started at Hermon soccer, youth soccer, big numbers. Hermon youth football, really little. We, the village, Hermon youth football has decimated the soccer program. There's no more. Sorry. I don't mean to be that way, but someone else can put the same amount of effort in. If the soccer program wants to put the same amount of effort in, they might get kids back. We put a lot of effort in, and we took it. There's no more youth soccer program. Yeah, the soccer coach at Hermon hates me. My bad. Number 3, offer football for every year. Every year. Don't make kids miss a year, even if it has to be flat. Keep them in your program. Create the passion to keep it. Any questions so far?
How do you promote to get them on that 3-4 team? That's the one that. That's
I'll
okay.
go. If I don't go, I'll make you.
Right.
I promise. Maybe. Okay. Starting right here. Putting the right people in place. Everyone there for the right reasons, right? Everyone's in a youth football program that has that one guy that's there for his son, doesn't care about everybody else, right? Everybody has it, of course. Coaching. People who will bring excitement to your teams and will go beyond just putting the minimum in. How do we find those people? That's a hard one. How do we find those? Every community is different. Some communities have more of those guys or girls, and some have less, right? We'll kind of go over that in a minute. Board members. Depends on how you do it. Core group are there to put your program in the right place for years, not just for their kid to go through, okay? Don't put your investment into a board member who's going to be there for 2 years, right? Try to find somebody that might have 3 or 4 kids. It's going to be through there for 12 years. Somebody that doesn't have a kid would be even better. Don't put your board investment into somebody who's going to be there for a year or 2, okay? Coach Kelsey right there, wave your hand. Hi, Coach Kelsey, hi. Okay? Coach Kelsey is a part of our board member. He's been with us now, how long?
5 years.
5 years, and he's got 6 more-ish, right? Yeah, that's an 11-year guy, right? That's an 11-year guy. Do you think I want him on my board? Sure do. Consistency, right? We're gonna keep consistency there, okay? Rec program, town program. How many of your youth programs are through the rec of town? Do you like it? Good. Do you like it? I love it. Wanna know why? Because I can control whatever we want. Now I get it. It's probably you guys don't like it because it's tough. It's mine. 100%. And well, I'll dig into some of that, of how to kind of go around. We have the same problem. We battle it in a gray area from somewhere else. That makes it a lot better. But why I love it, we have the control of it. Okay? We have the control. We're not just stuck to 5 board members are doing everything. We have a town manager, we have an athletic director through the rec that are all in, that are trying to do it. So I'll kind of go over that a little bit. If I don't touch on it, ask a question, I'll touch on it. All right, here we go. Okay. This is something that I'm super proud of. When I took over Herman, the 2 previous head coaches before me, the first head coach who was part of the start tried to do a really, really good job of integrating the whole program top to bottom. He was battled by the youth program. So he didn't really have the chance to really do it. It's not his fault. The coach before me, he wanted nothing to do with the youth football program. He wanted to stamp in, stamp out. That was it. He was there for the high school, bare minimum, I'm out. We have to create integration from the top to the bottom. Have to. If you don't have that going on in your football program right now, you got to have a sit down and figure out how to do it with some of these things. Okay? There's a big difference between team and program. Ways that Herman integrates. Flag football. We talked about that pre-K to first, second to fourth. Our captains at the high school level, our seniors, sometimes if we had a bad game, or I thought the kids weren't great during the week, I'd make all of them do it. They coach the flag football, okay? I'm there for both sessions every Sunday, but my football players are the coaches. They're in their jersey, they're interacting with the kids at a young age, so a 5-year-old kid in pre-K who's a football player is also being coached by the 1,500-yard rusher that they hear the name over the loudspeaker every day, right? They hear Gary Glidden, touchdown, and that Sunday he's like, yeah, Gary Glidden. Gary Glidden's my coach. That's my coach, right? Get that integration. Get the kids, the high school kids, in front of the youth kids early, right? How many of you played youth football? We all did, right? I played at Bangor. I'm a Bangor boy. Played at Bangor. Josh Jameson. I don't know if you guys know that name or not. When I was 5, 6, 7 years old, Josh Jameson was my idol. I would make my uniforms like Josh Jameson. I would go over at the football games and play a game you're not supposed to say anymore. And I pretended to be Josh Jameson. Right? So what do I want my 5, 6, 7-year-old kids to do? I want them to pretend they're my Herman High School running back, quarterback, right guy. Not the punter, but the right guy. Okay? That's who I want. I want those guys in front of those kids young so they start idolizing them at a young age. It's to the point right now, okay? I'm from Levant now. I live in Levant. At my kids' elementary school, if there's a dress-up day, or it's Halloween, you walk into the door to do a Halloween thing with the kids, and you look, and everybody's Gary Glidden. Everybody's like, hi, I'm Gary Glidden. Hi, I'm Gary Glidden. Hi, I'm Gary Glidden. They idolize these kids, right? They idolize these guys like Superman, okay? Put it in there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 football. Get your high schoolers running chains, running the scoreboard, cheering on the sideline. This is a big thing. So on Fridays, after our games, whether we win or lose, we have a whiteboard in our locker room at the high school. There's a sign-up list. And we put pre-K to first. This is how many kids we need. 2nd to 4th, this is how many kids we need. 3-4 game, at this time, at this place, this is how many kids we need for chains, for scoreboard, and for cheering. And everybody signs up, okay? If you're not doing the chains, you're not doing the scoreboard, I want 3 or 4 high school guys on the sideline with those kids playing. And all their job is, give them water, pat them on the helmet, tell them you love them, and a great job. Get those football players in that sideline to mess around, okay? What is a 9-year-old kid gonna do? Oh geez, Gary Glenn's on the sideline, I'm gonna run the ball harder. I'm gonna run the ball a lot harder, right? It's true. Summer clinics. Our high school players run drills for the youth program. Doesn't have to be crazy. It's just another way to get high school guys in front of the youth, right? Throw a few circuits together, have you can even do a 1-day or a 3-day clinic, and just everybody's together. Do it we like to do it, we've changed it to a DeVito camp now. We're gonna bring it back this summer just because we're doing something else with the DeVito camp. But we like to take the last week of summer sessions. Take a day, 2 or 3, get all the youth football program together, make it free. High school kids run it, have a barbecue, do some stuff. It's a great send-off for everybody to start their season. Okay? Youth Appreciation Night, we do that, do this at the high school first home opener. So home opener, we have Youth Appreciation Night every year. We have the youth players announce at halftime of the high school game. I don't know how many of you have ever been to Herman's football field, but there's a big hill behind our north end of our field, right behind the end zone. That Youth Appreciation Night, there's 120 youth football players sitting on that hill. It's a I'm biased, I get it, but it's very exciting to look down and you see all those kids. Our athletic director hates it because those kids punch kids, leave trash and everything. Not my problem. My kids are here to watch my football. I love it. Why? Why am I talking about integrating the whole program? Youth kids look up to the high school players. Make the youth players idolize high schoolers, right? I touched on that. They want to be them someday. Goes back to, I want to be Josh James. He's like that. Youth players feel like they are doing what they are doing is special, right? You can't expect an 8-year-old kid to put his helmet on, go to an hour and a half, 2-hour practice, and just go home. Because that's what they're going to think football is. We all know it. There's a reason you're here. Football is special, right? I played basketball, I played baseball, but there's nothing like football. Baseball, I played in college. There's a reason I came back to coach football. There's nothing like it. Special, right? It's romantic, it's beautiful. Make them learn that early. Youth players understand that it means something to play for their high school football team at a young age. I constantly, when I'm around the youth football players, I use the words bleed blue. Right? I'm imprinting that early into their head. Bleed blue. We bleed blue. Say it. There's a 3-4 game. I make sure that myself, the football coach, head football coach, and the youth program director is in the huddle after the 3-4 game at home, and I have 30, 45 a minute and talk with them. Great job, guys. I love you. You did an awesome job representing Herman. I'm proud that you're wearing those jerseys. Reminder, we bleed blue. We bleed blue. What are those kids hearing all the time? Coach Gallant, who they see all the time and getting familiar with, we bleed blue. Not yellow, definitely not Oceanside blue. We bleed blue, right?
Coach, how do you train your youth coaches so that it's a good experience for all the kids? It's, you always have
Done it a couple
guy
different
who's
ways.
focused on the 3 or 4 studs, quote unquote studs, instead of trying to develop them all. How do you?
So I don't want to chokehold my coaches. I haven't done it as of late because honestly, I have it pretty good right now. I've had the same coaches at the level, so I haven't had to really go in depth. When we were first starting all this, I would tell them what I want them to run, right? I'd make a 3-4, 5-6, 7-8 playbook, hand it out to them. If there's something that they get in there, if they're done with that playbook and they can run it with their eyes closed, call me and I'll tell you something else we do. and I'll put it on paper. I don't want to see we're running spread, we're running 2x1 tight, and then you come out in Wyoming formation, 47 guys over there. We don't do that in Hermon. So if you want to add something else in, let me know. We have coaching meetings before the year. And I will literally go out on a board and we'll talk about this is how we're going to put practices together. And Monday practice is going to be different than a Wednesday practice. 3, 4, and 7, 8 are going to be different. They play on different nights. So we talk about those different levels. I don't want to see, we go up there and I'll say, I don't want to see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, our 2, 3, 4 teams just absolutely scrimmaging all week. What are we getting out of that? Not a thing. So I tell them, this is how I want things to do. We also go over just small verbiage stuff. We bleed blue. Constantly talk about that. That's that common front, right? We got guys that want to give the common front. I sit them down. It's time. It's putting the time and work in of sitting down for a couple hours with the youth coaches. It might be 2 or 3 times. Just go over all that stuff that you want in your program. And you're more so doing it for the new people, right? Okay, these 12 guys in my program have been here a year, 2, 3. We got 4 new ones in. We're going over it again. Sit down with them. Sit down with them, spell it out. Who's, at the end of the day, who does it affect? Like Sam, right? At the end of the day, the only person in that football program, positive or negative, that it affects is Sam, right? So you and Sam sit down and you tell them exactly how you want it. Please run with this, because at the end of the day, it affects me. And people buy into it. They love it. They get the structure of it. You're giving them practice plans. Here's some practice plans for you. And they love it. And they buy into it. It's special, right? Sit down. Time. It's time. Got to put the time. Can I answer your question? Yes. Awesome. Wow. Okay, marketing year round. How do we think football for 12 months? Football, relatively longer season in season than some others, right? But it comes and it goes. And everybody forgets it. How do we think football for 12 months? I use the high school weight room. Oh, wait, I'm on camera. Not supposed to do that. I use the weight room thing that we use that just football players come to. I invite the youth players. Okay? Yeah, I get it. I get it. 9-year-old kids not supposed to be lifting weights. That's true, right? Do they have to be lifting weights in the weight room? No. I got a 9-year-old kid on a treadmill over there, walking on the treadmill. And guess what he thinks he's doing? Working out with Gary Glidden. How cool is that, right? He's like, I'm in the weight room with Gary Glidden. Gary Glidden's got a bicep that big, and I'm going to have one of those one day. Okay? Invite your youth players. We go 3 nights a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, year round. If there's no school, we're not there. Okay? I invite the whole school in. Anybody that wants to come, we average anywhere from 15 on our really, really low end in-season stuff to 30 kids a night. Out of those 30, that's all high school. And we'll get about 5 to 10 youth players every night. Those are 5 to 10 kids that are getting time with me, more time with my staff, and more time with their idols. Use the weight room. There's way more than a weight room than pump and iron. How many kids play basketball? How many kids play baseball? Right? They're going to lift for 2 weeks, they go to basketball. Basketball coach is going to say, I don't want him lifting weights. So for 3 months, he's gone. Then he comes back for 2 weeks. He's lifting weights. Then the baseball coach says, he throws like 62 miles an hour, it's pretty good. No, it's not. But I don't want him lifting weights. How are we getting bigger? We're not, really, right? You're going to have your select that only play football that will. Use your weight room for a different way. Look at it from a different perspective. Weight room, team bonding. That's what it should be. Okay? You're right, team bonding. High school player clinics. Have high school players run a clinic in the off-season. Well, they can't work with those guys in the off-season. Yes, they can. Maybe it's gray area. Coach Sinclair, you can tell me if it's gray area or not.
Not a problem.
No, not a problem. Right? Coach Sinclair is the reason why he's been around a long time, state championship football coach. He's doing what we're doing. High school player clinics. Find your rec program. If you're not with your rec program, go ask your rec program. Can I get hooked on to your liability insurance to run a youth football clinic during the off season and we'll give you 50% of it for the rec as a fundraiser, and the high school will take it, or the youth team will take it, etc., etc. Now they're doing football in February, right? Getting some good ideas there. Facebook page, this is a big one for me. Coach Kelsey is super good at this, okay? Marketing Guru 101. Home Depot was happy to have it. Continuously update your football page, your youth football page, okay? Some of you that run businesses, this is a good thing too. Don't use your Facebook page from August 1st to November 10th, and then let it go dormant. Post on that thing year-round. What can we post? Things that we can post. News of your players doing other things. Little Johnny's a quarterback for the 3-4 team. Guess what? He just won a chess tournament. Is that a thing? Chess tournament down in Illinois. Guess what we're posting about? Little Johnny winning his chess tournament. Mom and Dad get on there and they go, oh my God, they love us. And they share it. Then Uncle George shares it. Little sister Kelly shares it. Some random weirdo in Canada shares it. Guess what? Hermon Youth Football is out there. Right? Hermon Youth Football is out there on Facebook. Win-win. Continuously post on your Facebook. If you don't have one for your youth football, get it. A public one, not one that all the parents are on for information. Get a public Facebook page for your youth football and post. Once, twice, 3 times a week. Might be 37 times. You might have some studs that are great chess players. You might have to post 37 times. Click, 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 click. I want Hermon Youth Football out in the open. I want people sharing it. I want people reading Hermon Youth Football and that weekend. Trust me. That's Marketing 101. Facebook's a great thing if you use it right. But like Coach Snowback. Meetings. Off-season youth program meetings. 1 per month. Okay? We have whittled these down just a little bit more. We don't do them as much in the winter anymore. We used to meet, like our board or our coaches, once a month year-round, just to keep up to date, buying stuff, budgeting, where we want to go, etc., etc. And we put it out there, we invite the public. And you'd be surprised, you get one person to come, right? Random person moves into your town in January, big football guy, didn't know about Hermon Youth Football, sees this on the Facebook post because you post a lot, and comes, and the guy played for Southern Illinois for 6 years, and he's a great dude. Guess who we just got? We just got that guy. Me. Don't let your youth football program go dormant until it's time to ramp up. Keep it in the public. Make people think about it year-round, all the time. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Even if, how easy it is. How many of us take dumps at our house and on our phone? I'm in there for 3 minutes, but I'm really in there for 48. Guess what you can do? Come to our meeting. Love you all. Click. That easy, right? Kill 2 birds with 1. School stores. This is a big one for me. Offer apparel stores constantly. How many of you are doing do stuff with like BSN Sports or Whites or someone? I don't know if there's anything down south, right? Offer apparel stores constantly. This is something that I've implemented this year, okay? I normally did the whole summer football's here. We'll start the store in June. We don't get our apparel until next June. It's just not good, right? Yeah, right. So I put one out last month, opened it for a month, and closed it. It made us $114. Some people bought it, but guess who bought it? None of my kids. None of the youth football kids. Random people. I was reading through the thing, I'm like, who are these people? They just bought Hermon football stuff. For some reason, whether it's good or bad, Hermon football stuff is now even further out. Right? How many of you have walked through a Walmart and you're just walking and someone's in front of you, you see a sweatshirt that says GNC Construction? It doesn't have to be GNC Construction. You guys are like, I've never seen that. You see something, right? You never heard of it, but now you saw it. 2 weeks later, you see it on a commercial. GNC Construction, and you're like, I saw that at Walmart. It's Marketing 101, right? Open apparel stores, even if it's one in the off season. peddle it on Facebook, peddle it to your people. People will buy it. That's more apparel getting out in the open. Okay? Anyone have any questions? Am I doing well? Thank you for your stamp of approval. Okay, this is from my vantage point as a head football coach. And I'm sure like Coach Sinclair, Coach Snell, and other head football coaches, Coach St. Targan here that are head football coaches at the high school level. This is big for me. How many of your high school coaches, and don't worry about that camera back there, no one can see you. How many of your high school coaches are not fully involved in your youth program right now? That's okay. I love that. Listen to this. And I want you to go meet with your high school coach. Show him this slide. Okay? You can do this as a youth coach, for sure. The more people in your program that do this, right? Program director, high school coaches do this stuff. I had to do this so many times when I was first trying to revamp the youth football program. Go to other sporting events. Go to their concerts. Go to their chess matches, etc., etc. Show the community you care beyond the game. When I first got hired as the youth director, before I took the high school job, I never watched so many Little League baseball games and minor games. We had a football kid that danced at Maritas in our area, which I was like, oh, that's cool. I went, worst hour and a half of my life. But guess what? That kid came up to me afterwards and he was like, you're Coach Gallant, right? What are you doing here? And I was like, I came to watch you. Really? And guess what? Mom and Dad, guess what they did? Talked to me all the time ever since then. I can't believe you went to my son's dance rehearsal. Are you sure you didn't have like a nephew or something there? Like, no. Heard that he was doing that. Thought it was awesome. I supported it. And guess what? That kid is, they just graduated this year. Playing law school. Probably better at dancing. I did this too many times to the point where I thought I was going to get reported to the authorities. Knock on doors. Find your athletes. When I took over, I'm watching soccer games, I'm watching Little League games, I'm watching chess, I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm going, oh, look at the size of that kid. He's 6'1", 210 pounds, and he's a 7th grader. Why is he a midfielder in soccer? So guess what I did? Found out where he lived. Weird. I get it. I didn't find out where he lived. I found out where the parents lived. Easy now. I found out where he lived. Hi, so-and-so, so-and-so. I'm Coach GallantHermon with Herman Youth Football, now the high school coach. I'd like to sit down with you for a few minutes and talk to you about the pros and be honest about the cons about football. No thanks. Click. All right, no big deal. Go to the next kid. Say the same thing. Yeah, sure, come on in. Sit down. Who do you gotta, honest, who do you have to persuade? Mom! Dad's like, oh! Mom's like, hell no! Right? So you gotta persuade mom. Sit down with mom. Let's sit down with mom. Here's the pros. Right, we're talking about those strong words. Integrity, respect, teamwork, leadership, love and a passion. And I'm honest about the cons. Yeah, your kid might get it. We can't control those things. But what I can promise you is that I'm going to make sure my coaches are certified in everything they need to be certified in. My coaches are teaching things correctly at my discretion. That I can tell you. Right? Coach Sinclair, we had an injury issue years ago. Remember that? And my coaches did not handle that at all well. Kid broke his leg, cleaning, like 5th grader. And one of my football coaches decides he's going to move it. Not good. Coach Sinclair calls me and says, hey coach, I'm not complaining. This is just what I saw, and I'm so glad he did. He was there for me, right? Coach Sinclair was there for me. Guess what I did? That following week, I had the athletic trainer at the Herman High School sit down with my football coaches for 3 hours and show how we do proper on-field care. And we have never not had an ambulance at our football games since then, okay? So we can control those things. I'm honest with you. When you get that one guy, that one kid, that one athlete who says, yeah, I want to try it. I'll try football. And guess who he's friends with? The lady that just closed the door on me. Little Johnny talks to little Bobby. All right, I'll play football. You get one, you get them all. You get one, you get them all. You gotta go. If you're having a hard time getting people into your youth football program, and you look across the way, and there's 100 kids in a soccer program, or there's 40 kids that aren't even really doing anything, or there's 50 kids that think they're baseball players year-round. That's on you, too. Who in here has knocked on doors? Probably not a lot, right? Not yet. Go knock on the doors. You're going to get out of this what you put into it. Listen, I'm not kidding. I probably heard 4 times, I'm going to call the cops on you. Yeah, okay, football, don't do it. Okay? My wife thought I was nuts. My wife was like, you're going to be a lifetime registrant. Well, football program's still allowed, isn't it? I can still maybe pass a background check with a loophole, I don't know. Don't mix things in season, okay? Youth coaches should be at high school games. And vice versa, high school coaches should be at youth games, okay? United front, we talked about that, be a united front. How awesome would it be if you are on the sideline and you see the 3-4 coach and his staff, 5-6, his staff, 7-8, his staff. If I'm somebody who has a kid who's maybe gonna think about playing and I walk by and I go, they're all here to support each other. You wanna be a part of that? I would. That's family, that's love, right? If your youth coaches aren't going to the high school game, not good. And if you're a high school coach who's not going to the youth games, really not good. I get it, right? You have a little one, right? I do too. I got a kid. My kids are 15, 10, and I think 7. Yeah, he's 7. He'll be 8 next month. I get it. It's time, right? A lot of time. Well, you took this job. You decided to be the football coach. You decided to be a youth football coach. You decided to do these things. And guess what? It takes time. It takes effort. And that takes people doing things the right way. If you can't do it because of your kids, you can't do it of that, that's okay. That's as easy as, it's not for me, I'm going to step back. I'm going to hand it off to somebody else who can. I will tell you, I tell the Herman guys this all the time, I'm coaching at Herman. The day my son graduates, which is in 11-ish years, I'm out. I'm out. My motivation is my son. I want to coach my son in high school. I want to build a nice program for my son to go through. In 11 years, I'm hoping others follow suit in Herman and want to take it. I can go sit mojitos and a cruise and watch Herman football from the backside. Okay? That's the truth. I'm upfront and open with everybody. My administration knows, as long as they don't fire me, I got 11 years in. Probably 3.5 because they'll fire me. Okay? Offer exciting things to players. Fundraise for flashy jersey. I get it, right? Well, our kids aren't tough because they got flashy jerseys. No, youth program has some pretty flashy jerseys, right? You guys look damn good when you roll out onto our football field. My 9-year-olds go, why do they look so good? Oh, God. Right?
You gotta share that smooth.
Have your program get-togethers, right? Offer exciting things to your youth football kids, right? What are kids instantly gratified, right? They need instant gratification. Right? If you throw them on to a 1987 Rydell pair of pants, they're going to be like, well, now, soccer had brand new shorts. Offer some flashy stuff to them, right? Coach Kelsey, he's a god at that. I feel like we're getting new uniforms every year. I'm like, wow, those ones are old. We bought them last year. Put them in new stuff. All right, cool, whatever.
All right.
I think that's it. That's it. That's what I got for you. You guys have any questions?
How many people on your board, Coach?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Rec, athletic director Isaiah Marseille, Coach Kelsey, who is really in charge of like our 3, 4, 5, 6 area. Jason Lage is our 7-8 football coach. He's on it with us, and then myself. 4. I keep it short, keep it concise. I have the right minds that believe in what I'm doing. I believe in what they're doing. We have the same vision. Don't have 12 people on your board. That's Herman Little League. I'm on that board too. There's 15 of us. Jesus. But keep it small. And it doesn't even have to be like, you don't have to sit down there and have like, oh, bring to order, you second it. No, just have Sam. Best thing to do. Have Sam and yourself find 2 guys that you love and you trust and you know there'll be some longevity. Get together and make those decisions for you. You had one, right, Coach?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you like? For example, like, if you want like youth programs kind of follow suit the high school programs doing. Like you touched on this a little bit. Like, so do you set up like a mini clinic for those guys, sort of like kind of within the high school program, like set up a mini clinic for the youth program? Kind of.
So you're talking like playbook wise?
Sort of, yeah, sort of.
Verbiage, all those
Correct.
things. Yep. So I offer that playbook, right? And I stick mostly to, I want the verbiage to be the same, right? When I got to Herman, they ran odds and evens holds. I came from Bangor, we went 1 through 9. What was easier to fix? 50 kids or me? I fixed me. So I was like, all right, we'll do odds and evens. Took me a little bit. I figured it out. Okay? So I want those kids knowing that. I want them to know cadence, down, hit, ready, set, go. Right? I want that cadence. Route tree. 1 slant. 2 slide. 3 hitch. I won't go any further because I see you writing notes. I want those kids to know that, right? I want those kids to know that. 3-4 football, they might just know 1, 2, and 3. Right? Middle school, I want them to know all of it. Okay? So 3-4 kids are good. 1, 2, and 3. Slam, slide, hitch. 5-6, we're adding 4, 5, 6 in. 7-8, we're adding 7, 8, 9, and then the double routes. I get these kids in summer. Coach Swaney is my JV coach and line coach, one of our line coaches. And he does all my videography. We have a coaches show too. You ever seen that? You seen our coaches show? Pretty badass, isn't it? It's right. It's right. Not me, it's all him. I just get on there and just go. Yeah. Yeah. What I'm really good at with that is we're playing Madomik, and he goes, so what do you think about Madomik? And I'm like, Coach Snells and I are really good friends. Nothing but respect for the program, and the thing goes off, fuck Madomik. Is that right? No, it's just you. What do you want? Sit down, figure out what do you want what I want my flag to know is my cadence and that they're football players. That's all I want. 3-4, I want them to start understanding the game. Okay? So we're going to take, obviously 3-4, it's really hard to run a gun. We're a gun team majority of the time. So we run some power I. So guess what my 3-4 team likes to run a lot? Power I, under center. They're now learning that it's power I. And we're going to give them 3 or 4 plays in the run game out of it, and then those little passing trees and tell them how we do that. And I have it on a paper. I literally make a 3-4 football playbook. Hand it to them. I do it for the 5-6, do it for the 7-8, and it goes well. It goes really well. Then I have those coaching meetings. We talk about practicing. We talk about how the verbiage. We talk about bleeding blue. We talk about these things, and then you guys have had the playbook for a month. If you have any questions about anything in there, we'll go over it right now and wait. Yeah, Coach, I'm from New Hampshire. Power I's not this. Power, normally we kick this guy out. Can you just explain your verbiage? Yep, let me explain. And I'm an open book, right? Youth football coach. How many times, Coach Kelsey, have you messaged me and been like, hey, we're trying to install this at the middle school right now. I don't know if I'm doing it right because it doesn't match. Do I come down and do it with you? I come down and do it with you. Who's that helping? Helping you. How nice is that? Instead of summary where you're installing some schemes or doubles, you're installing schemes, you're teaching your 15 kids a little bit more of your high school playbook. I can tell my incoming 9th graders right now, get out in Iowa. That's our 2x2. Get out in Iowa. Every 9th grader. Gets out in Iowa. Good. Run our ray motion. Ray motion. Can we run jet? Yeah, Coach, you want it with a GT or a G? Is that nice? It's very nice. Not right. It's very nice. It helps you. You're now forwarding and progressing your high school. Yeah, sure.
You talked about not to endorse for recruiting players. What about recruiting coaches? In our youth program, we have a very hard time just having the coaches for all of us.
Sure. For me, youth level, not so much middle school, but 3, 4, 5, 6, it's not about knowing football. It's about knowing how to make kids love football. So I was going to these Little League games, right? Oh, that's Chris McClellan coaching Gardner's Little League team. And his kid's a talented kid. I'm gonna knock on that door, I'm gonna get that kid to play. Then I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna talk to Chris. Well, I don't know anything about football. I don't care. I saw how you were with the kids. Your son's going to play football. You're going to be at the game anyways. It's 3-4 football. You're going to drop him off to be at practice. Please come help. You guys have to get out of the mentality sometimes that it matters X's and O's at that age. It doesn't always matter X's and O's at that age. It matters on how can they make kids be passionate in the game of football and love the game of football. At some point, they're going to hit a coach that knows his X's and O's. And a kid who's passionate about football will pick it up really, really quick. I had an all-conference football player 2 years ago, played soccer his whole life, came to me senior year, went to first day of summer, and goes, I have no idea what I'm doing. I go, I'll get you to football. All-conference football player that year. Believe it or not, blew his knee out in the early main game against Monona. He was a stud basketball player. Felt bad he couldn't play basketball. But don't hang your hat on. These kids need to know what they're doing. Right? Yeah, okay. It's time and effort as a head coach. You got a 5'6" coach who doesn't really know the game of football, maybe doesn't even really understand how to do your schemes. You're going to have to go down and talk with him. You're going to have to go down and spend time with him. You're going to have to go and help him install some stuff. That's time and effort. It's time and effort from that head coach. That's time and effort from a youth program director. Right? How many programs do you guys been a part of or know of in your area that are struggling with numbers, and it's definitely an internal issue? It's an internal issue. Right? People aren't putting the time in, whether it be the administration, the coach, the youth coaches, the youth, anything, the town. They're not doing it. It's going to take one of you, just one, who says, I'm going to do everything in my power to rebuild this. Right? You talked about Naomi and Fritz. Right? Naomi and Fritz, I don't know if you guys are in here for Coach Snell's Potomac Valley. Naomi and Fritz, they were starting from scratch. Zero, and I mean zero, community support with it. Guess what they did? They knocked on doors. They put people who loved the game of football or loved kids in the places. Might not have known a lot about football. They loved the kids, they loved the community, and knew how to keep kids passionate. And they just knocked on doors and got kids out. It can be done. I don't care where you are. Listen, I cannot begin to tell you how bad Hermon was. It took a village to rebuild Hermon. I'm the guy that opened the pathway, and the village took it. It took a village. I'm not saying it doesn't. But I also was willing to do everything in my power to make sure that that pathway was the correct path. It's tough. It's hard. Trust me. And I made enemies. When I first took over, our 5'6" football coach was not great to the kids and knew nothing about football. Can't happen. Why? It's because I don't really know football? No. It's because kids don't believe in you. And you don't give kids a good time in the game of football as a fifth grader. I don't care if you don't know football. I can teach you that 7 guys have to be on the line. I can teach you what this stuff is, and you can relay it to your kids. But if you're not making kids passionate about game of football, right? How many of you have seen guys that played in college football, right? Unbelievable knowledge of football. Can't relay it to kids. Right? Just because you were great in a game doesn't make you a great coach. Right? You gotta have the attitude, you gotta have energy. I like to think I'm an energetic guy. Maybe, right? You gotta have energy. You gotta have passion, and you gotta have the attitude to have a backbone and say no when no needs to be said, but to also understand and say yes when yes needs to be said. Find the guys that love the community, love the kids, are good with kids, put them in there, teach them the football. That's my advice to you. Yeah, thank you. What's that?
That's true to me.
Yep.
Just wanted to add one thing. So we also utilize technology with the kids.
Yes.
So the last 2 years, the teams I've coached have utilized the Tackle Football app that you can put the playbooks on.
Yes.
It shows the plays live, how it works, where the ball is going, where all the movement is, who they should be going to block. It really works for getting the kids to learn the playbook beyond handing them just a piece of paper and say, hey, go learn this. Right? But when they can get on their iPads or their cell phones and hit the play button and see exactly how play works, it's really helped them learn it. And with the middle school team last year, I added them all in a month before and told them we expect you to understand the basics of the playbook by the time practice starts, and it really helped. We said, all right, get into this formation, that formation, let's run this play, and it's helped them learn and pick up quicker. And I get text messages like, hey coach, I don't understand this play. Can you help me understand why we're doing this here? right? And I can easily interact with them, and they like being on their phones, right? You know, the kids, everyone wants to be on their phones. It's a free to them, so nobody has to pay for it. And it's really helped with getting the kids to learn, stay interactive with their playbooks.
I'm sorry, what is that at?
Tackle football, playmaker X.
It's part of that instant gratification, part of that excitement of giving kids. Okay? I feel bad, I'm not a technological guy, or I would just put it into that, I make the coach put it in. Well, you got it, you play what you're doing. And it helps them learn too. Yeah, sorry.
So getting back to talking with Bob.
Yeah!
What are some learnings you've had with that? Or particular troublesome questions about that?
All around injuries. Everything is around injuries, mainly head injuries.
What did you bring up with that?
If you can really have a good sales pitch of the pros of leadership, what you're going to get out of it, teamwork, all these things, and be honest about the injuries, but that it outweighs your pros outweigh cons, they start to, they might not get it face to face. They start thinking about it, maybe do some homework. They start going, well, geez, yeah, my son really hasn't been listening a whole lot lately. Try football. Once they're in, they're in. But head injuries, et cetera, outweigh the pros. Make the pros outweigh the cons. Because it's true. Just be truthful. Like, yeah, your kid could get hurt. I say this all the time. Your kid could get hurt. But he could also walk in that crosswalk and get hit by a bus.
My worst injuries were all bikes.
Yeah.
Where kids forcing around in the high school game center.
Yes, sir. I'll come right over.
Ready? Coffee done.
Were you in here?
I was just sitting right next to you.
Well, don't worry, you'll be an old man and see